This Faceless channel is 6 weeks old and has gained 42,000 subscribers, 4.8 million views, and one video sitting at 1.4 million alone. And here's the part that actually got me. It's stick figures, drawn like a kid did them. No face, no animation team, no editor. That means whatever is pulling in millions of views here is not production skill. It's a pattern, and a pattern can be reverse engineered, not copied, studied and rebuilt as your own. In my last video, you voted on which faceless niche I should build first. You picked science explainers, channels exactly like this one. So today, I'm rebuilding this exact style from scratch with Claude's newest model, Fable 5, the research, the script, the voice, the images, the finished video. And if you can type a sentence, you can do every step you're about to see. This is a snippet of what we are about to create.
You're thirsty. It's 100,000 BC. There's no tap, no bottle, no little map pin saying lake.
Quick reality check before we build. A video like this normally takes 4 different people, someone to study the channel, someone to write the script, a voice, an editor. That's why most people watch a breakdown like this and never actually start. Fable 5 collapses all 4 into one system. It reads the channel, pulls apart the pattern, writes in that channel's style, and then drives the tools that make the images and the voice. You're not the glue holding 5 tools together anymore. Claude is. For this tutorial, we will be taking 5 steps, starting from the setup. We set up Claude Code and install 3 tools into it: Higgsfield, ElevenLabs, and HyperFrames. Step 2, we drop in my skill. It's a research and video generator I built for exactly this. Step 3, we give it a channel that's already working. Step 4, Claude generates the title, the script, and the voiceover. And the final step, it generates every image and builds the finished video. And if you're following along and want this exact skill, just comment Fable 5 below and I'll send it to you so you don't have to rebuild it from scratch. Alright, let's start with setting up our tools. First, we need to download Claude Code to our desktop. For that, head to Google and search Claude Code for Windows and click the first result that appears. Now go ahead and click download for Windows and it downloads on its own. Once it's installed, open it and you'll see 3 tabs at the top: Chat, Cowork, and Code. Make sure you click on Code. This is the interface we're going to use. Now the next step is to choose your folder. Down at the bottom, you'll see your local folder and a work tree, and you just add the folder you want to work in. So right now I'm just clicking downloads to show you how it works. But this is only an example. For this project, I already made a separate folder and I called it Fable 5 Annie. So everything we make, the script, the voiceover, the drawings, the final video, all of it saves into that one folder. Alright, so the next step is to connect Higgsfield to Claude. This is the tool that draws every image for us. So once you come into Higgsfield, go up to the top and click on MCP and CLI. You'll see a few options there: MCP, CLI, and Skill. We need the CLI, so go ahead and click on CLI and make sure Claude is selected on the right. Now you'll see 3 commands here, and we're just going to run them one at a time in the same chat. Quick thing before that, you can run these in PowerShell yourself or just paste them into Claude and let Claude do it. I let Claude do it because it can catch its own problems and fix them. So copy the first command and paste it into Claude Code. Now, one thing is going to happen here, and I don't want it to throw you off. Claude is going to flag a whole list of errors, and it's going to look like it didn't work. But it did. I couldn't tell either, so I just asked it straight: is the Higgsfield CLI installed or not? And as you can see, it says yes, it's installed and working. The error was just on the last step, and it fixed itself. Now copy the second command and paste it into the same chat. This one asks for authorization, so you click connect, it opens the browser, and now you're authenticated. Now the third command, copy and paste it. This installs the skills, and once it's done, you'll see what Higgsfield can do now: generate marketplace cards, product for photoshoot, and soul ID. We only need to generate. That's it for Higgsfield. Alright, so the next step is ElevenLabs. This is what gives us our voiceover. So once you come into ElevenLabs, go to developers and then API keys. Go ahead and click create key, give it any name you want and create it. Now you just copy that key and drop it into Claude code, and that's it. Claude can talk now. Now the last step is to connect HyperFrames to Claude and we will be done with the setup. So go to hyperframes.heygen.com, copy the install command at the bottom and paste it into the same chat. It installs into Claude code and it'll flag a couple of things worth flagging. So just let it finish. Do this once and you never touch it again. Alright, this step is done. Now, let's start with the first step of the build. I take the skill and drop it straight into Claude. And let's see what it does. Before it runs anything, it refines the skill. It goes through and checks which CLIs the skill actually needs, which ones I have connected and which ones I don't. A couple weren't installed and it told me we don't need them for this build. So nothing breaks silently. It checks its own toolkit before it starts. Now, the next step, the channel. I paste in the link to the channel we're studying so it understands exactly what we're building toward. And then it goes to work. It reads the channel's top videos. It draws the title pattern, pull and analyze the actual thumbnails. It reads the hooks and maps out how the scripts are built and how they're paced. And it hands me a full breakdown. I opened it in Chrome so you can see it clearly. Every title on this channel is a question. The thumbnails are one big emotional character with a short caption. The hook drops you inside a scene before it tells you the topic. That's the formula, decoded in a couple of minutes. By hand, that is hours of work. Now it's asking me for topics and it gives me title options in that exact style, multiple options, each one following the pattern it just decoded. I liked number 2, so I told her, lock in topic number 2. Alright, the research is done, but the title is the easy part. Now we're on the script. Once the topic is locked, it writes the full script in that channel's style. Same hook shape, same pacing, my topic. And here's a detail worth knowing. By default, it writes a full 18 to 22 minute script. That's a complete video. But for this demo, I only wanted to test the pipeline, so I told it give me 1 minute. And it did. Same structure, compressed. Now, one thing, and I want you to actually hear this. The script it gives you is a starting point, a strong one, but it is not the finished thing. You still have to add your angle, your examples. The system does 80%. The last 20, that's you. And that 20 is what makes the video yours. All right, next step, the voiceover. As soon as the script was done, it asked me straight up, should I generate the voiceover? I said yes, and it handed the narration back as an audio file. I pulled it, listened to it, and I liked it. It used the Liam voice and it fit. If you don't like the voice, you just tell it right there, this isn't the voice I want, and it swaps it. I told them the voiceover is good, let's stick with Liam, and this part is important. You listen and approve the voice before anything else happens, because every image after this gets timed to this exact audio. Get the voice right first, then build to it. That would already save you hours. But the images, that's where this gets fun. All right, now we build the visuals. This is usually the step where everyone gets stuck, and you're about to see why it isn't one anymore. First, the style lock. Claude asks you to lock the image and lock in the style. Here's what I did. I clicked the plus sign, added a reference image of the exact look I wanted, and told it, use this reference image for the video. Now, quick thing, you can actually skip this. It had already picked the explainer style on its own from the research, but I drop in a reference anyway because showing it in the style works better than describing it. Words can get misread, a picture can't. And look at that, it confirmed it straight back. The reference matches the style exactly. One small thing before the images are generated. Higgsfield asks you to authorize the connection every session. You'll see it ask for a confirmation. Just go to the Higgsfield site, click connect, and come back to Claude. That's it. It's not an error, it's just authorization. once per session. Now, before it spends a single credit, it shows me the plan, a full shot table, every shot, the timestamp, and the exact image it's going to make. The skill is designed so each image holds on screen for 2.5 seconds. And if you want that longer or shorter, you just say it right there. So nothing gets generated until I say go. That's the checkpoint. I read through the table, everything looked right, approved. Then it asked me one more thing, the animation style. I told it to keep them as stills, plus Ken Burns. And Ken Burns is nothing complicated. It's just that slow drift on an image, the documentary look. That's it. And now it builds. It runs 2 tasks in the background at once, all 22 shots and 3 thumbnail options. And notice this, it sends images back into the chat as they finish, so you can check the style live. At one point, it sent me a frame and said, "Shot 2 is spot on." It's checking the character, the details, everything with me. It runs in batches, so give it a few minutes. And what you're seeing on screen right now is my Higgsfield images section. Every image lands there the moment it's done, so I'm watching them come in live. They also drop into the chat and straight into the project folder, and when the images are done, it stitches everything together in HyperFrames. The Ken Burns motion on each image, soft transitions between them, all timed to the voiceover. But it doesn't just hand you a file, it opens the whole video live in a preview player. You can play it, pause it, jump to any moment. So if I want to change the timing or swap an image, I do it right here before the final export. And one more option before we move forward. If you don't want to use HyperFrames for the assembly, you don't have to. All the images are sitting in that folder. Drop them into CapCut with the voiceover and edit it yourself. It's the manual way, but it works. I just find HyperFrames naturally better because it's timed to the voice for you.
It's 100,000 BC. There's no tap, no bottle, no little map pin saying lake. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Finding water was easy. Drinking it was the dangerous part. Because every animal on the savannah needs the same water hole you do. Lions know it. Crocodiles know it. They don't chase prey, they just wait at the water. The water hole isn't a drinking spot, it's a trap. So your ancestors got clever. They followed birds at dawn. They tracked elephants who dig wells with their trunks. They read dragonflies. Dragonflies never fly far from fresh water. And they drank fast in groups with lookouts. Not most of the time. Every single time. So next time you fill a glass in 10 lazy seconds, remember, you're doing the one thing your ancestors never could. Drinking without looking over your shoulder.
Now, I watched the video Claude rendered using HyperFrames, and I liked it. So the last call was the thumbnail. It gave me 3 options, and it even told me its own pick was number 2. I agreed. Number 2, it is. While the thumbnail rendered, it asked me one last time, anything look off in the video? It looked fine to me, so I said it, and it rendered the final video and gave me the deliverable with the exact file location. And you can see one more thing on screen here. I asked it to make me a table with the exact credits this whole run used. Hold that thought. I'm breaking those numbers down in a minute. That's the whole build. But does it actually hold up next to the real thing? So here's the moment of truth. On the left, a real video from the channel we studied. On the right, the one we just built. Same energy, same style, same kind of hook. And ours is on a topic they've never covered with our own way on it. That is the point. We didn't take their video, we learned their content style and built our own thing in it. And that's the difference between copying and learning. Copying takes their video, learning takes its lesson. We took the lesson and built our own. Now, let me be honest with you about what this run actually used, because nobody shows you this part. I asked Claude to make me a table with the exact credits, and here it is. The images, all 22 shots, the style anchor, and the 3 thumbnail options took 189 Higgsfield credits, and 2 shots failed along the way. It caught them and retried them on its own. The voiceover, 55 seconds of narration, came to 419 ElevenLabs credits. and the assembly ran through HyperFrames. That's the whole bill. No studio, no editor, no designer, and everything lands in one folder: the script, the research report, the design files, the renders, the thumbnails, all the options, not just the one we picked, every single image. It's all sitting there, organized, ready to use. All right, before ending this video, I want you to go in with the right expectations. The image batches take time. This is not instant. Higgsfield will ask you to reconnect every session. And the script, as I said, it's 80%. The last 20 is yours. That's the trade. And this is the part that changed how I work. All this is now a template. I won't rebuild it. I pointed at a new channel, give it a new topic, and a new video falls out the other side. Same system every time. This is how I'm making faceless videos for the rest of the year. Now, everything I showed you today is worth one video. Inside Accelerate, this is what we do every week. We get on calls together, we break channels like this beat by beat, and we share the AI workflows that are actually working right now before they end up on YouTube. It's a room full of faceless builders building together. If you want in, the link is in the description. And before you go, two things. One, a comment Fable 5 and I'll send you the skill. Two, tell me which channel you would point to this system at first, because the best answer in the comments might just become the next video. I'll see you in that one.